screen okay? Okay, sounds good. All right, so today we're not going to be learning any new content. We're just going to be reviewing everything we've learned so far this month. Actually, this is the last day, last lesson day of July. So applause for you guys for making it through so far. And then we'll have one more week for final presentation and GitHub. So yeah, let's get it started. So first we have from lesson 2, I believe, and lesson 1. So these are all the different tags that you guys have been learning in HTML. So we have this paragraph tag, which is just like a normal text or a paragraph. We have the heading tags from 1 through 6. So we have H1, H2, all the way through H6. H1 being the biggest and H6 being the smallest. These are different like types of headings that you can use. Italic tag makes the text italicized. Underline tag puts a little bit of an underline. And the bold tag makes a text bold. And then we have right over here, we have the break tag, which kind of has puts an empty space between two elements. And then we have horizontal rule tag, which kind of, it puts a huge horizontal line across the website. Similar to break tag, but it actually has a line. Unordered tag basically is a list of bullet points of different things that you can put. So list items are specified by li tag, and then the whole list should be encompassed by ul if it's unordered. And if it's ordered, then it's ol with the li tag still. So it's the same for each list. So you put different elements here, and then ol to specify that it's an ordered list tag. So the list is going to have numbers instead of bullet points. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And summary of everything we've covered in lesson 3. Lesson 3, we learned about the image tag, right? And it's useful for displaying images. And how to use it is to do bracket image source equals image.jpg or any kind of pathing that you guys want for your images. And alt is the description. So no end tag for this. And src and then alt right here, these are called attributes. So attributes add on extra information about the element. So we have this image element, and these are the two attributes that it uses. So we have the source attribute that specifies the location of the file. And remember, we have two paths. So we have absolute path and the relative path. We usually use relative path. Downloading an image to our computer and putting in our file is just more organized. And also, we don't have to rely on the internet to always provide the image for us. So in this course, we're going to be using relative path mainly. And then if the image doesn't load, the description and alt attribute displays instead. So this description is what displays. And we have the anchor tag, which is a tag. It's useful for putting links on text and leads to the user to another web page. And how to use it is bracket href equals link and then the text in between. So we use the href attribute in this tag, and basically this link right here is what it takes us to. So there is an end tag for this, and href attribute specifies the URL of the link or your HTML file. And for CSS, and after that we got into CSS, right? CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet, and it's used for decorating our HTML document. So there's 3 ways of applying CSS. First, we have inline, using the style attribute. So in the HTML file, you can always just put style equals and then edit it there. Internal, we have using style tag in the head. So we have style, end tag, and the front tag. And then everything that we edit goes in between. And there's a specific format of selector, open bracket, curly bracket, property, value, and then closing curly bracket. So yeah, right here it says selector, property 1, value 1, property 2, value 2. And the list of properties are, I put it right here in the later, but also this is not encompassing everything. So we haven't explained every single property possible. So if you guys want, please go on this website and then search up different properties or Google any properties that you guys would want to edit. And we have 4 different types of selectors. We have universal selector that selects every single element in the HTML document. We have the tag name selector. So just putting the tag name here selects all the elements on their same tags. So for example, if we do P, then it edits every single paragraph tag. And we have the class selector, which is with the dot and then the class name. So it selects all the elements under the same class. And this class is defined in HTML by ourselves. So we have to do it manually. So it's P and then class equals class name. It doesn't have to be a paragraph tag. It can be any tag, in fact, as long as we put the class attribute. And lastly, we have the ID selector. This is the most isolated selector. So it's defined by hashtag ID, and then we have the curly brackets, and it selects only the elements with the ID. So just usually only used for one element. So ID is also defined in HTML with an ID attribute. So ID equals ID name. And yeah, the specificity of the selectors basically means if we do all of these, what's going to be like the #1 priority for CSS? And it's inline, ID, class, tag, universal. So even if you specify the color in universal to be blue, if you specify it in ID selector that it's going to be red, it's going to be red instead. All right, and then this is a list of properties. Some of the important ones that we've been using in class a lot is color. This usually changes the text color. Background color usually changes the background color of the whole website or just parts of the website. Background image, we haven't talked about this, but it basically does the same thing as background color, but it puts an image instead. It's actually one of the extra credit points you guys can earn for lesson 3 homework. And the width height for images, font family is the type of font, and font style is normal, italic, oblique. You can choose in between. Font weight, same, where you can choose between normal, bold, lighter, and bolder if you want to change the style. Font size, pretty self-explanatory. We're changing the size of the font. And the margin, padding, border, we're going to get into it right now. And this is also a great resource again. So we've learned about div tags. So div tags are division tags, right? And it's useful for dividing your HTML into different sections. So it actually doesn't appear on the website when we just put div by itself, but we use attributes on our div tag in order to make it more pretty with CSS. And the CSS box model is defined as the box that wraps around every HTML element. So the content is the actual element itself. So we have text or images here. Padding is the space between this content and border. And then border is just like the border around the element. And then we can actually see this in our HTML with like a color or anything. And then margin is the outside space. So margin is when we want to separate 2 elements together. And then it's like not within one element, but in respect to other elements, if that makes sense. So if we change the margin to be bigger, then all the elements are going to be spaced out even more. And how to specify the CSS box model. So in order to specify weight and height in CSS, we just change the weight and height in order to be some kind of pixel value. Padding is the same, but border, we have 3 things. So we have the border width, and then we have the border style, and then we have the border color. So this is number value with pixels. And then we have border style, which is solid, dotted, or dashed. And then we have border color, any color that you like. And then we have the margin as well. It's just edited same way in CSS. And we learned about Flexbox. So Flexbox is an easy and efficient way to lay out different HTML elements. So how to use it in, this is actually in HTML, but any div, you're gonna put a class attribute, and this can be any name. It doesn't have to be Flexbox. So you can name it like Flamingo and it'll still work. And so in CSS, we're gonna make it so that the display is flex. This is necessary because this makes it so that the element becomes a Flexbox. Flexbox, again, is this little empty like container to lay our HTML elements. Flex direction, either row or column, basically defines the general direction of elements. So it goes left and right or up and down. So rows are for left and right, column is for up and down. So justified content is basically where the elements are going to go. So if we do flex start, it starts all the way to the left. Flex end starts all the way to the right. Center, it goes to the center. Space in between, there's going to be spaces in between each element. And yes, defines the alignment of elements, how they are laid out in the Flexbox. And align content, I don't think you're gonna you guys are gonna use this too much, but defines the line of the items based on the empty space. So flex start on the top, flex end on the top, bottom, center, stretch, all that good stuff. And yeah, that'll be the end of our review session. Does anyone have any questions or any topics that you want me to repeat or do a demo really quick? All right, everyone sounds good. Any questions? All right, then let's get into our highlight of our review session. Sorry, let me just move this out of the way. All right, so we're gonna be playing Kahoot. So how this works, let me just fix this. So how this works is you guys are gonna join through Kahoot.it. So if you can have your phone out, that'll be great, or you can do it on your computer. So basically, you're gonna go into www.kahoot.it and you're gonna put this game pin on there in order to join. I can do it on my.
Just one little comment, but a lot of people make this mistake. So if you don't know, I haven't done this before. If you put a space, it won't work. So try not putting a space.
Good point, Annabelle. Thank you. So yeah, we have this little space, but do not put it. Just put the numbers only, and then put your name on it. I see Annabelle already joined. And I'll also join through my phone just to see you guys, like, let you guys know how to use it. So we have, oh, my background is virtual. Let me fix that. And also, I'm gonna share sound because it's kind of boring without this Kahoot noise, right? Is this Kahoot okay? Is the sound too loud or anything? Okay, sounds good. Okay, so for example, you have my phone here, right? I am on Safari, or you can use like Google Chrome or anything. So I'm gonna type it on top. I'm gonna type www.kahoot.
Did you make the Kahoot?
Oh yeah, I actually made it. Yeah, so if you see here, use www.kahoot.it and then enter, and then you should see this screen, Kahoot. And then so on here on the game pin, you're gonna just put 3152287 like this. And then you're gonna press enter. And then you're gonna do nickname as your name. So I'm gonna do David. And then okay, go. And you should be in. Let me know if anyone needs help with this. I can go over it one more time. But yeah. Let me leave the Kahoot. Oh, I am so sorry. I accidentally kicked someone out. Abby, can you rejoin? I did not know it did that. I was trying to kick myself out. I did, but I accidentally kicked you out as well. Also, do I sound okay on your side in general?
You sound okay.
Okay. Is there like fan noise or anything? I do have a fan going on.
I
it's
don't
very
hear
hot
anything.
and so
I don't hear anything else.
okay, sounds good. Thank you for clarifying. Yeah, it's very hot in Southern California. I don't know how hot it is right now, but all right, looks like we got everyone. We have like 36 questions, so let's speed through them. So yeah, let's start. HTML and CSS review. So you're gonna click on the right option on your phone. So what does HTML stand for? There's 4 different options. And click on whichever is correct. And let me know if you ever have questions about any of these. Okay, looks like most people got it right. So it stands for Hypertext Markup Language. And we see Paul at the top space. Okay, let's go. All right, number 2, HTML is structure of websites. What analogy did we use to explain this? So did we use body, skeleton, clothes, bodily functions, and actions? Does anyone remember from lecture 1? And then whichever you think is, oh, nice. We got everyone. Everyone got skeleton. Nice job. Oh, Joanna's beating Paul. So basically, if you guys don't know Kahoot, how it works is you get more points if you answer quicker.
I think it judges you by your speed, not your
Yeah.
accuracy.
But also accuracy does matter because I think it gives you more points if you're in a row. So both accuracy and speed. All right, let's go. Next question we have, what is missing in this general structure of a HTML document? So we have this code right here. What should go in these boxes? Also, I should have put the time to be a little longer. Sorry, it's a little short. All right, sounds good. Yep, the head is missing. It's the information about the website, right? Okay. True or false, the spacing or indexing looks correct in this code? Does it look correct? All right, yep, it's false because if you see right here, the heading tag and the paragraph tag should be indexed one more time. So it should be on the same line as this title because it's inside the body tag. Sounds good. Is there a way for me to fix? Yeah, I'm so sorry. I should have put it for longer. It's a little bit of a tight.
Yeah, I think it gives you more points whenever you do it faster. So
That's true. Okay, heading tags decrease in size as you decrease in numbers. So the biggest being 6 and smallest being 1. Is this true or false? Well, yeah, I should have put it to at least 25 seconds. Sorry, you guys have to answer quick. All right.
My screen froze.
Oh, it's okay. So what does it say on your phone?
It says correct answer, but it froze. I couldn't even see the questions.
Oh yeah, sometimes network issues happen. If it keeps continuing, then we can do something about it. But I think for the next question, it should be okay, hopefully. All right. Next, we're gonna. Oh, this is multi-select. So what are the 2 tags that we use to italicize a text? So 2 options here.
I didn't know there was a submit button on this one.
Oh, is there no submit button?
There was, but I didn't notice it.
I see. Yeah, okay, everyone, most people got it correct. So we have EM as one of our italic tag and then I. Don't get confused by the italics. That is not one of our tags. Joanna's still winning. Okay, Joanna. What tag do you have to use in order to have this line break? So this little line here, how do we do this? What tag do we have to use? All right, nice job. We have to use the HR. Remember, the BR tag is a break tag, and it doesn't have this line, but it only has space. All right, it's gonna get more confusing, Jana. What type of list is this? Is it, what's a list? Unordered, a cool list, ordered. Okay, yep, it's an ordered list. We know this because it's OL. So O stands for ordered and the list L stands for list.
Mine is still frozen.
Okay. How should we do this? Is there a way to rejoin? Can you start try to rejoin on the Kahoot? So the pin is right here. If you can rejoin, Grace, the pin will always be here. So try to refresh the website, and then if it doesn't work, then just go to a Kahoot.it again and then rejoin if you can. If you can't, could you play with Paul if that's okay? So you guys
She
would
could rejoin. She just needs to close the tab and then reopen and just type in the game pin.
So yeah, if that's okay, yeah, Grace. I think I enabled rejoining, but yeah. All right, sounds good. All right, next we have unordered list is called unordered because all right, so the list items just have bullet points and not numbers or ranked. Good job. All right, next we have, this is a slide. So just a refresher, absolute path in this example here. So the path is direction to our files, right? And absolute path always starts from the beginning of folders and files. So we start always from here, this slash, and it goes all the way down to Prakash if you want to get to there. But relative paths start from anywhere. So if you're here, it goes from home to Prakash. So the question is, if we have this image below, what would be the absolute path to bar? So right here, bar is over here. How do we get to bar using absolute path? All right. Oh, this one was hard, huh? So basically, it starts with C colon slash, right? So this is the beginning of our path, and it goes to home, and it goes to user 2, and it goes to bar. So it starts from the beginning and goes all the way down to bar. All right, if we have this image below, what would be the relative path to bar from user 1? So we're trying to get to bar when we're at user 1. This is a tricky question. It's okay if you don't get this right. All right, we have user 2 bar. I am so sorry for people who put home. That's because this image, user 1 is already in home. Actually, this depends on how you interpret it, but yeah, I'm sorry about this. But yeah, it's gonna be user 2 slash bar. So if we have this image below, what would be the relative path to bar from user 2? So user 2 is right here, and then bar is right here. Grace, were you able to rejoin by any chance? Yes. All right, we have bar. Good job. One person got it right. So it's because So it's not user2 bar because we're already at user2, right? So if we're on this folder, then we just specify that it's going to be at bar. And it's not home because we're not going from home, but we're going from user2. So everything before user2 can be omitted. So these don't really matter, and everything matters starting from user2. All right.
Still going freeze.
What kind of path are we using here? So we have image source equals image slash Kahoot dot png. All right, so we have relative. Good job. So if it was absolute, we would go all the way starting from like the start server of our computer. So it would be going like home, user, David, like desktop, image, like all that. But we only had to specify image folder. So that's why it's relative. Oh, Hannah coming in hot. Hannah's gonna be in top 4. Oh, so sorry. Source and out in our image tag are examples of Grace, is this, if it's still frozen, could you try on your phone, or did you already try
I don't
like
have a phone.
did you try already exiting the page and then going on a new page?
Oh, I'm gonna use my mom's phone.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so yeah, attribute. These are attributes, and attributes basically add extra information about the tag. Okay, Annabelle's beating Hannah again. This tight competition we have here. All right, true or false? When we're using image tag, it's recommended to use your own downloaded image rather than the images on the internet. You guys answered fast for this one. Oh, everyone got it right. Okay, sounds good. True. All right, what is a tag? Oh, okay, we have a tie between anchor tag. So I think you guys, as soon as you saw the anchor tag, you typed this one, but that was a little trick. So anchor tag, it lets us make our text link to a different website. It does not anchor down specific elements to a distinct location. All right, next we have, what attributes does a tag use? So what is the attribute that we use in order to put our link? Might be albatrosses. All right, everyone got it. It's href. Right, next, we have guess this tag. What divides our code into different sections so that it's more organized and useful for making flex boxes? What is this tag? And make sure you answer this carefully, because I put a little bit of a. Oh my gosh, everyone got it wrong. So this is a little bit of a trick. So remember, div tags have end tag, right? This one I only put the start tag. I'm so sorry for tricking you guys. So yeah, no one got that one right. All right, next quiz. We have, what does CSS stand for? This one's also pretty confusing, I think. Oh, you guys got it right. Yeah, cascading style sheets. All right, CSS is a design decoration of websites. What analogy or example did we use to explain this? All right, yep, we use close. All right, next, there are 3 ways of using the CSS: inline, blank, and external. What are the 3 different ways? All right. Yeah, everyone. It looks like Grace is back. Grace, are you back on Kahoot? All right, sounds good. We got everyone. Internal is correct. Next, we have, this is an example of blank CSS. What kind of CSS is this? Good job. So we have inline. So this is inline because it's in the HTML, right? And it's inside of the tag. So inside of the p tag, we have style equals, which is inline. All right. Next one. Alice is trying to use internal CSS. What went wrong here? What did she do that was not correct? I'm so sorry for the short time limit. Three, two, one. That was really short. I'm sorry, but one person got it right. She's missing the style in their head. Oh, wait. That is the wrong image I used. I'm so sorry, guys. I meant to blank this one out. That is my mistake. But yeah, it's actually everything is correct in the image. But yeah, she needs the style on her head. That is totally my mistake. I double checked this, but still made mistakes. Okay. True or false? Inline is usually the best way to use CSS for everything. Most of our CSS will go inline. Have this guy in a line. If anyone got the joke. All right, so it's false because we usually use which one do we use, Joanna?
External.
Wait, sorry, what was that?
External.
Yeah, good job. So we use external. So we use a separate CSS document. Next one. What is the benefit of using external CSS rather than internal CSS? Good job. So yeah, our code is more organized since it's separate document. So internal is inside HTML, external is not. And this is not correct. Unlike internal CSS, we can edit multiple elements at once because internal can also do that. So internal can also do that, external can also do that, but it's just in a separate document. Oh, Joanna, you look like you made a mistake there. All right, let's see. Bob is trying to use external CSS. What did he do wrong? All right, so yeah, one person got it right. Rel and href actually don't need to be in specific order, so they can be like in whatever order. It's just important that they're spaced out. But yeah, so he did everything correct. This should link him to his separate CSS file. Oh, Grace got it right. Nice. In the example below, what kind of selector are we using? Selector. So selectors are on this side, right? All right, good job. It is a class selector because it has a dot in front. Oh, you have a little bit of change in rankings. So this is another multi-select. And the example below, what are the two properties? So select two of them. Properties. All right, we have a. Oh, wait, everyone. I think one person selected one extra one on accident, but yep, the properties are on the left side, color and border. Okay. Stacy changed her CSS so that her paragraph tags look like this. What two properties did she change? Did I forget? Oh yeah, never mind. Let me just. Kahoot music is pretty upbeat. Okay, so yeah, she changed her background color to be the lime green, and then she changed the font style in order to make it italicized. So she didn't use the italicized tag here, she used it in CSS. So yeah, it won't be color because color changes the actual text and not the background. And font family is the font. It looks like a different font, but it's actually the same font as the default one. Oh, Abby's catching up, Joanna. All right, James accidentally put multiple colors on H3. What color is H3, the heading 3, going to be? We've covered this in the lecture, if you guys remember.
I accidentally got the wrong one.
No worries, no worries.
I've done that before.
Yeah, it happens. All right, yeah, it's gonna be pink because remember in CSS, whatever's the latest, whatever's last gets put. So it's gonna be pink. All right, Michael wants to edit his text using CSS. What kind of selector did he use? Or should he use for this? So we have this paragraph tag with ID attribute and text. And this one's also kind of tricky. Make sure you guys read it all the way through. All right, so it is an ID selector, but you don't use a dot. You use hashtag. So yeah. And it is not a universal selector because universal selector edits everything, right? So I guess it can technically work, but yeah, I was looking for ID selector because of the ID. All right, next we have Stephanie wants to change her background color of the website to blue. What does she do wrong here? Okay, so she used the wrong property. What is the property that we need to use, Abby?
Background color.
Yeah, good job. So we have to use background dash color in order to change the background color. All right, next. In the below CSS box model, what is the shape of space between content and border? I've covered this up this time. We're almost nearing the end. Nice. So we have padding. So this is supposed to be padding over here. All right, we got like 4 questions left. If I want to distance 2 elements from each other, what property from the CSS box model should I change? All right, 2 people got it right. So width and height only changes 1 element, but if we want to do 2 elements, that are gonna be like distance each other, we're gonna have to use margin. So kind of like this, 6 feet distance. All right, in order to use Flexbox, what element do we usually use to make it a Flexbox? So this is an example of a Flexbox here. What element do we use the most? An element is basically the same thing as tag. Yeah. All right, good job. So we usually use div tag in order to make it, and we usually put like an attribute so we can edit it with CSS. All right, how do you declare an element to be a Flexbox? A little bit confusing. I think Flexbox is a little bit harder to learn. So I got all the difficult questions at the end. Ooh, okay, only one person. So display colon flex in CSS. And last, we have the last question. Are you guys ready? Let's go. Okay. Alex put 4 images in a Flexbox with row direction. How did he change the Flexbox so that the images are in the middle? So you see all the images are in the middle. Nice. So justified content is what it changes. If it's all placed in the front, all placed in the back, center, or space in between. Justified content, yeah. So we want it to be center. All right, number 3, we have Paul. Nice job, round of applause. Second, we have Abby. And finally, our first place has Joanna. All right, congratulations. I'll probably give like 5-point credit to Joanna and 2-point extra credit to Abby. So yeah, I'm sorry, Grace, you had to leave in between because of network issues. But yeah, and I think everyone got a pretty good review out of that. All right, sounds good. I'm gonna screenshot this really quick. Okay. Sounds good. And so that is it for today's review. Let me stop sharing really quick. All right, so it looks like it's 5:50. Next week we're gonna learn about GitHub, and next week, what else is coming up, Annabelle? Do you remember?
Isn't next week the final presentation?
Yes. So on Thursday, we're gonna have final presentation where you guys are gonna share your screen and show us what you've created throughout the course. I'm gonna post the syllabus again because there's like list of things that you guys should do in order to get full points. So this week and next week, you guys are gonna be working on your final website. And also, so we have the homework due, right? So homework number 3 is due tonight, and homework number 4 is due tomorrow. If you need help with any of those, so if you need help with number 3 or number 4, please stay after class. I can help you if you share your screen and everything. What else am I forgetting? And I'm gonna have one more homework using Flexboxes, but I'm still thinking about it because Flexbox is a little bit too hard. And yeah, I wanted to show you actually one more thing. All right, can everyone see my screen? Okay, so before we go, I just wanted to show you one example of how you can use Flexbox. So let's do this. Visual Studio Code. Wow, that's big. All right, so I'm gonna delete all of this, except Yeah, I'm gonna delete all of this. Shit, I'm not just gonna. All right, so let's say a lot of you guys are using like 2 images, right? So if you want the 2 images, so let's say I have the first image, source, transformers, still have transformers here. And then the second image to be Baby Yoda. And I want to put them next to each other instead of having it like on top of each other. So right now we have our website as this and then this, right? So one's on top of each other, and I want to put it not right next to each other. Before doing that, I'm gonna change the sizing as well. So I'm gonna just use image tag selector to make all the images to be width of 100 pixels. Let me see if I did this correctly. Oh, it already puts it right next to each other. Interesting. Very interesting. But let's say if you had text in between, right? Between the images. See, you know how it separates all these three into like different, rows, right? So in order to avoid this, if we use a flexbox here, so I'm gonna put everything in the div tag. I'm gonna do ID this time. Do row. I'm gonna make it into a row. So I'm gonna select it using the ID selector row. And then I'm gonna do display, flex, justify, content, and I'm gonna put it space between. And then now you'll see it is all in the same row, or you can even make it so that it's faced around so it looks prettier. And yeah. And I think that is all I wanted to talk about for now. So yeah, that's just like a little tip how to use Flexbox. You see there's like not an actual box in here, but it's like an empty transparent box in order to put these images together. So yeah, that is one example I just wanted to cover really quick. And oh, one more thing, it was already on Kahoot, but you can actually select the body. So if you want to change the background color of the whole website, you can select body because body is encompassing everything that we just built, right? So I'm gonna do body background color to be aquamarine, and on the website it appears like this. So yeah, just a couple of things that I wanted to mention to make your homework a little bit easier. But that will be it for today's class. Thank you for everyone who showed up. Please stay after class if you need extra help about homework, about anything, any questions. So yeah, thank you for all of you guys to be here today. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week on Tuesday.